I'm going to talk today about a subject every parent struggles with, and it's when you have a child that's not doing well financially. And so I'm going to tell you a story. So I've got a person here. They're almost at retirement, and they've got the son Phil, and they love Phil. They've got a couple kids, and they love Phil. And Phil's struggling financially. And one time they comes to him and says, "Hey, I need some money, a few $1,000 to help pay my insurance on my house." "Absolutely, we love you. Yeah, sure. And then a little while later comes back, "Hey, I need some money for my credit cards. I'm right at my limit." It's like, "Okay, yeah, we can help you out." And this started to become a pattern. And then one time just before Christmas, Phil comes and says, "I need $25,000, otherwise the bank's going to repossess my house." Now, what parent wouldn't just be torn about what decision to make and what you're going to do there? And so, Phil's parents said, for some reflection, "Hey, we're not going to be able to help you out." And so Phil actually, and how heartbreaking is that right before Christmas time? Phil had to go into bankruptcy. The bank took their house. And that was the best thing that ever happened to Phil. That forced Phil to correct his spending and savings and budgeting habits. The relationship between Phil and his parents have never been better. And it really set Phil on a track for getting in shape financially and watching what was coming in, what was going out, and managing that well. That was a difficult conversation. How many parents would be able to do that? I know I would struggle with it. I've got young kids. But by doing that, it's tough. And so you think back to when your kids were younger. If they want to have ice cream for dinner, would you let them? No. Why? Because long term, that would be bad for them. Same thing with bailing them out financially. Long term, it's bad. By doing that, by helping them out, you are actually setting them up to be reliant on you. So what's the saying? You give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach a man to fish, he eats for his lifetime. And so if you're constantly helping out a child, you're not teaching them to fish for their lifetime. And I think there's some emotional thing like, "Hey, maybe I've screwed up because they're not in a good financial place and I've done something wrong as a parent." That's not on you. That's not on you. Your kids have grown. They're adults. Them struggling financially is not on your shoulders, and you should not feel any responsibility for that. And so my advice for you as a parent is, if you see your kid and they're in trouble, they've got credit card debt, you might think, "Hey, if I pay it off and then they'll pay me back, they're never going to be able to get underneath this 18% interest." Let me tell you, they're not going to pay you back. It's going to turn into a gift. I know it will. It happens all the time. And so what you can do is you can work along with them. There's some strategies. So if they're struggling financially, you say, "Hey, you know what? I will help make half your interest payment, but you have to make a principal payment, whatever that amount is." So if they're paying 18%, you'll pay 9% of that interest on their credit card. But they have to make whatever that principal payment is. And if they're not making that principal payment, you're not going to help them out. And you're teaching them, you're empowering them to be better with their money. That's going to be a lifetime benefit. It is very difficult. It is very difficult. Now, I'm not saying if they need to buy a house, you're not going to help them out. And so there's lots of families that do that. It's a high bar to entry to get into the housing market, and that's an investment. And maybe you want to do a reverse mortgage to that. You take some equity out of your house, so it's not messing up your cash flow. And chances are your house they're going to get in the end anyway. So that might be a strategy you might want to use. I'm just talking about consumer debt, spending, and just really having a difficult conversation. And you're going to think, "Hey, this is tough." It is, but is really going to benefit your child. If you're struggling with an adult child and helping them out regularly, come talk to me. I've got some other strategies that can help work with you. If you're a client of mine, please share this with someone that you think would benefit from it. If you're not a client of mine, please reach out. Have a great day.